Absolutely extraordinary what we've just seen. Someone has actually managed to take down Jasprit Bumrah. Trent Bolt to a lesser extent. Shreyas Iyer, that is one of the most extraordinary innings you'll ever see in a crunch game, Pezza. And that means we're going to get a new winner in the IPL in a couple of days' time.
What a game. Yeah. This game had a sensational vibe. The Death Stars are gone from the IPL. The good guys are in. We will have a maiden title winner. Shreyas Iyer, you beautiful, beautiful man. It was an innings for the ages, and it's one that leaves the mouth both agape and watering simultaneously. Okay. Now, that's a medical condition. Yeah. That's a medical condition. Do not turn to these guys for medical conditions, but turn to them for everything else. It's Big Basket.
10 minutes, Andre. Boys, Big Basket. 10 minutes, Andre, Big Basket. 10 minutes, Andre, Big Basket.
Big Basket, delivering in 10 minutes.
It's going to be an awkward advertisement of Punjab go all the way.
Yeah. Why are they dancing? Why are they celebrating? The fix is in. Let's have a look at the scores on the doors, please, Chucky. MI 203 for 6. And
that's Punjab, a game.
Punjab did it all easily in the end. Now, usually we'd wait a little bit later in the show, but only one thing to talk about in this entire game. It's what everyone's here for. Let's do FLASHDOG. Let's do Shreyas. Come on, Chuck. Let me roll some numbers through your brain.
Please, that's what I want.
6 wins out of 7 for the team batting first at Modi Stadium this year. Mm-hmm. MI had won 19 games in a row when scoring over 200. They'd never lost. Yeah. Never lost.
You can't make 200 against MI.
Exactly. Shreyas comes in. The last ball of power play. 3 consecutive sixes a little bit later off Reece Topley, all down the ground. Sumptuous, glorious. Multiple tailing Yorkers to third man with the open face off Jasprit and Trent. He finished it by slaughtering Ashvani. When WADHERA was out, they put on 84 in about 7 and a bit overs, 7.5 overs. Punjab needed 51 off 26. Shreyas then hit the next 47 runs with Shashank and then Stoinis facing 5 balls between them. So Shreyas hit 47 off 15 to win the game and go from 40 off 26 to 87 red off 41. How does this guy not fit into your plans and your thinking for India? Michael Clark has urged selectors to take note. He also was calling Punjab. So I wouldn't say everything's gospel from Pup. Now, Ravi was also calling the number 3 for Australia, Joss English. So maybe names are hard. That's my take on Shreyas' innings.
You're right. Like after his partnership with WADHERA, it was truly putting the afterburners on. This was a guy in the zone, locked in, dialed in. This game is all about Shreyas. It's one of the greatest knocks in the history of the IPL, in my view. Consider the context. His team haven't made a final in 11 years. You are dealing with that energy of the fans. He must chase 200 plus against the most imposing bowler in the world. His team is playing off the back of a soul-destroying loss. He does this striking at well over 200 as the skipper. He does it when the pressure is on and when the big boys are bending their backs. Both teams had a ton of contributors, but Punjab got the star performance in this game, and he propels them to the big dance, he goes. And I don't think this has to be egg on Gautam Gambhir's face. Gambhir just has to pivot now on Shreyas Iyer. He's clearly world class. You do not steward 3 separate teams to IPL finals playing a leading role when it matters most without yourself being world class. Yeah. Like, in my view, he should be absolutely at the center of Team India post Rohit and Kohli. He is clearly a guy that responds optimally when he is given the keys to a team. International teams around the world will love the fact that he is sitting at the margins of Team India. Get him in the middle of those teams and let him take them for the next couple of years. He clearly is at his best when he does that. He's a fulcrum of any side that he's in. As an Australian, obviously, Gambhir is a wonderful coach. And he's 30, and it's probably time to move forward.
Time to move forward,
right? And I actually trust the wisdom of Agarkar and of Gautam Gambhir and stuff like that.
As an Australian, I've got no interest in being anywhere near India.
I just think, and when there's a bit of pace through here with Shreyas, so I understand where they're coming from. Well, I don't want him anywhere near it.
Now, Shreyas is essentially like Team India is the couch in Friends, and Shreyas is Ross, and he's yelling out pivot. He's screaming pivot.
Well said.
But how it ends up, the couch gets snapped in half. So, you know.
So has he got stressies?
Shreyas said this after the game when being asked about being calm while batting. He said, I don't know, to be honest. I love such big occasions. I always say to myself and also to my colleagues in the team that the bigger the occasion, the calmer you are, you get the big results. Today was a good example where I was focusing more on my breathing rather than sweating out loud over there.
Mate, I have...
This guy he can't play for India.
That is actualization. Have you ever played a game of cricket, like, under pressure and gone like, that was a good breath. Fuck, I'm breathing well.
It's meditation, return to the breath.
Yeah.
Return to the breath.
That's right.
You know? Thoughts will come and go and just observe them. Observe the thoughts. Oh, I'm bold. And I'm in the shower now naked and crying.
Someone's urinating on my leg. Now, that's from the Cyrus interview. Watch our Cyrus interview.
I'll be in twos next week. Let's get into the next thing, unless you want to talk about any more Shreyas.
Nah, I mean...
He's got no business playing for India. I've got no interest in seeing him play for India.
No, I don't think he belongs. I just think when you step up that level, and I think through any format,
I think so.
No investment.
Hey, let's talk about Australia. Let's talk about Inglis and Wadhera.
Yep.
It can only ever really be an Aussie taking down India's best player at Ahmedabad. That's fairly obvious. So 20 runs off Bumrah's first over for Inglis. He finishes 30 out of 21. It's a whip off middle stump through mid-wicket first ball. There's a launch for 6 over mid-wicket. Then there's a flick in the air of a third man for 6. I mean, what an impact that over had. Bumrah finishes
goes at
40.
10s.
Goes at 10s in the end, but 20 off the first. So I think no one chews gum more aggressively than Josh English.
Yeah.
Josh English.
Yeah.
The chewing of the gum is it's aggressive.
No, it's off the chain.
It's off the chain. Steve Waugh-esque.
And happy birthday, Steve Waugh,
Happy
by the
birthday,
way.
Tugger.
And Mark Waugh.
Big sixer.
Of course. Yeah, septuagenarians. Inglis takes over Bumrah first over, and people watching this will go, this is a disproportionate focus on your own countrymen, and it is. And it is. But I think that in those circumstances where Mumbai have 200 on the board, as you mentioned, for the last 19 occasions when they've defended 200, they've done so successfully. They usually do that because they've got one bowler on the side who goes at 6 and over, right? So it's mathematically like far more difficult to conjure 200 runs when one bowler is going for 25. You've got to get 175 off the rest, right? That's Sunrisers Hyderabad stuff, less than half the time. But when Bumrah bowls his first over and Inglis goes Packham Championship, I'm taking you for 20. What belief does that give the dugout? Where they go like, no, you are not to be like Bumrah, you're not to be handled with kid gloves here. You know, like hot oven mitts. You know, I'm taking you down. That is again, I'm very big on kinesthetic energy. You see your own player do that, and you go, we are fucking on here.
Yes, the boys are on.
The boys are on. So it was I thought it was a very meaningful over. 38 of 21. It's a good contribution.
Wadhera's had a great season. He was 40 out of 29. He was dropped about 30 runs short of where he finished up when his final score. Trent Bolt dropped him at third man off Hardick.
Probably hurts.
He also had a life when he was on 2 with a misjudged chance.
So he's 2
from the man. Yeah, so he was 2 for 48 in the end. So look, there was a couple of chances there, but aside from that, there was some real clutch hitting. That's what happens at this level of cricket, though, isn't it? Like, if you put down chances that should be taken, it seems to hurt a lot.
And one of these circumstances where a good player wasn't retained by a franchise, in this case Mumbai, and he makes 40, and now most of the conversation is about how that's a big up yours. It's like, hey, he's just a guy who scored runs, and he played very well.
And everyone plays for 6 franchises in their career.
And the guy that was retained, Tilak Varma, he also made like 40 or whatever. So just cancel each other out.
Look, so much of this innings just is punctuated by Shreyas, of course. But like there is a support act element there from Inglis and Wadhera. So kudos.
And every game has to have a back-breaking partnership. Someone has to fracture their back in order to win the game.
Right.
And on this occasion, I think Shreyas and Wadhera's partnership was the game that snapped the back of the game if the game had a back. And a very kind of crass metaphor or analogy that it is, is still true. They took the game, they snapped the back, right? Now the back,
That sort of C7, C9, which we know it can be difficult,
Yeah, you don't want to do it there.
Let's talk about Mumbai. So, Mumbai played well in this game, haven't they? They played well enough.
Contributors everywhere.
So, Bairstow chips in 30 out of 24. We all needed Bairstow in this competition. Tilak Varma, 44 of 29. Sky, 44 of 26. Namandir, 37 of 18. These are all good. I mean, Sky's had a great season generally. Like, all these scores of 25 plus. But when it's come down to it, maybe in like these really clutch moments where you need to win. In T20 cricket, consistency is the thing that's near on impossible, right? So, I mean, like 3 weeks ago, we watched the game at the 1KD where GT just completely outclassed MI. Then a couple of nights ago, they did the reverse, So Punjab have just been flogged by RCB by a record amount, with 10 overs to spare. Never happened before. There's no guarantee that not only will that same margin happen again, that RCB would even win the game. But it just feels like in this moment, maybe MI have played a great game of cricket, and maybe just somewhere along the line, there's these little infinitesimal moments where it just hasn't quite worked out. They've won 8 games this year. Their net run rate was 1.12 or 1.2, quadruple the next best. So they've won big moments, big games, but when it comes right down to it in these moments, just couldn't quite get over the line. But still a good season.
I've got to say, this is a game where you'd expect Bumrah to be the difference.
Yes.
Right? Like 200 on the board. The other team, like everybody brought their A game. Like let's lift the hood on professional cricket. There's so much of it. It isn't possible for players to turn up mentally and emotionally to every single game. That's why the biggest games matter most, because everybody's up for it. There's a lot on the line. There's pride and there's money. And that's usually a pretty good set of ingredients for seeing who is good. And typically, Bumrah is the best in these situations. And he still went at an economy rate under what what was required. Yeah. And but it was Shreyas who emerged the star in this game. I thought, as you read out, Mumbai had a lot of guys that contributed. Punjab did with the ball as well. Even Pup said at the innings break, I thought he said he thought it was a good deck and he thought Punjab executed really well, so they kept them back. But you sort of expect Bumrah to finish it off from there, or just to provide too many problems that create issues elsewhere. And it was just one superstar in Shreyas Iyer rising above the pack. And you see this in sport sometimes. He was just locked in. He's a skipper. He knows how to win. Cometh the hour, cometh my face. And as you say at the end, I mean, who in their right mind hits 47 or 15 game on the line to get into the final? Yeah.
Against
with a team who has consistently failed for 11 years. There isn't any DNA in this team to win. Yeah. So that's a special operator. And again, it feels negative to then turn the attention to Indian selectors and go how come you're not dealing with this guy? What's your problem with this guy? But you just want to see somebody who's world class be in their right place. Yeah. He belongs at the front and center in international cricket. Shreyas side. It's his time. Yeah. Let the boy watch.
Yeah. And I mean, no one's saying here, by the way, that MI have lost this game because of Bumrah. We're not saying that. But what we are saying is that there's as you just articulated before, there is a reason why MI have won 19 games in a row when they're defending 200, because they've got a guy who wins them the game like that, right? So
he just needs a hand.
Maybe at the end of MI's innings, Hardik 15 off 13, he was out in the 18th or 19th over, I think it was. That's a moment where they could push on to get 215, 220 maybe. Maybe it wouldn't have been enough anyway. But, those contributions of INGIS, WADHERA, and then, of course, Shreyas, I mean, that is the difference in the game, right? So let's talk about the last thing. And a new winner awaits, Pezza. It's a new winner. Now, on our jaunt over to India, we did a couple of shows. We performed in Bengaluru, then we went to Mumbai. And at the time, it was all to play for. And, we were talking about fantasies on stage and what the RCB fans wanted. And here's how that went down when we were in Mumbai doing a live show there.
Last night we were in Bangalore, and get this, they think they're going to win the IPL.
We told them they're going to fuck it up.
They're going to fuck it up. They're going to fuck it up. Now, there's definitely an RCB fan here somewhere. RCB fan right here. Okay, let's talk ultimate fantasy, right? Okay, your team is going to win the IPL. We know they're not going to, but let's imagine that they are. Okay, let's just imagine for a second they're going to win the IPL. Okay, I know what you're going to say. Who's going to hit the winning runs? You're going to say Kohli. Okay, yeah. And who do you want to for College to face those winning runs, who's the bowler that you want him to hit the winning runs off?
Bumrah.
Listen to what you're saying. It's not going to happen.
And, turns out we were right. We were right because he's not going to hit winning runs off Bumrah. So, once again, TGC, Nostradamusing their way through the IPL. It's impossible. But it is exciting. A couple of good guys in the final, Pezza.
Absolutely, yeah. Too many good guys now. It was, I think a few days ago, it was nigh on inconceivable that Punjab could somehow take greater energy into the final than RCB. But after this win, you have to consider the wave that they're riding now. In fact, their ability to bounce back from the RCB loss to do something like this, something famous, something special, led by their captain at the venue that the final is being played at. Is that right? It's at Ahmedabad, isn't it?
I think it's in Canberra.
My mistake. Monica Oval is flat. So to do it at the scene of the final, the captain is the form player. They're doing it with local talent. Very interestingly, and very interesting. I want to raise this, right? No one else is talking about this apart from the journo in question. So there's a little tidbit, but it has emerged in the last couple of days that RCB, this is fair income.
Okay.
RCB in the last few days inquired about David Warner's services for the final.
Really?
Australia's David Warner. Right now, follow this. This is slightly journalistic.
PSL's own David Warner.
Well, I think that's why he's not going. But so this is a story from Dani Saeed from the Australian publication Crikey. Dani covers sport really well for them and a bunch of other media issues. And this is a story that's been confirmed by Warner's camp. So this isn't speculation, right?
Okay.
RCB in the last few days made contact with David Warner to inquire about him flying over for the IPL final. Okay. When Dani put that to RCB, they denied it categorically, right? When Dani then put it to Warner's people, they confirmed it. It emerges that visas were the issue. It was short turnaround, not for us to speculate. I wonder if Warner's time in Pakistan might have delayed things, as we know from visa, just the visa experience. Now, my understanding is that that it's this is for injury contingency, right? But seriously, with one, and I don't mean to do cat pigeons with this stuff. I just think I do think it's an interesting revealer into mentality, right? With one game only to go in the IPL, with your squad having done the business, why are you making plans to fly David Warner in for the final? This is pure speculation on my part, but I wonder if they are so vexed about the Tim David injury and it's something, unfortunately, it's a hole Liam Livingston hasn't been able to fill, in there at number 5 or so, that they're literally issuing an SOS for one game only. If it had come off and he was flying over, and you can't imagine he's flying over to sit on the bench, right? David Warner.
Yeah.
We're talking about the highest profile ringer for a game of cricket in the history of the game. So we're just talking about the final. Is that revealing of desperation, or is it revealing of the lengths RCB are willing to go to bring home the maiden title? Either way, and look, we're not going to see him at the final, but this isn't this happened. This happened. Yes. This is confirmed. Mate, have they lost their marbles? Are RCB losing the plot ahead of the final?
Okay, so my instinctive thought with it is that David Warner bats at the top. He might bat 3.
Because I was like, is Phil Salt injured?
Or something, yeah. So Phil Salt's...
Yeah. Mayank Agarwal's been batting 3, so they could change that.
And Mayank Agarwal has done well. Phil Salt's just got his fastest IPL 50 the other night, 23 balls. Kohli's not moving anywhere.
Yeah. Livingston wasn't bowling, so they're just mate, come and bat 5 and plug a hole because we're not getting anything out of Liam Livingston. And the bench like the strength of the bench underneath is.
Mate, if I'm in that squad and there's a guy coming over for one game, I'm thinking, what the fuck
to
is
play
going on?
to play in the final?
What is going on?
Yeah,
I'm not happy about that. I mean,
you're going from like hotel to hotel to hotel, like every couple of days.
Exactly, in around the group, months off. You know, the conflict happens. They come back, like
Fielding.
all that fielding drills. You know, like getting like who sits where in the dressing room, on the bus, hotels, cake ceremonies. You know, like what are they? Only RCB could find a way to try and fuck up this perfect run they've been having.
Yeah, what are they doing?
What are they doing?
Just trust the team.
Yeah.
The whole, like, this is the thing with RCB. The whole transcendence of their past has been based on role players.
Exactly.
Avoiding an over-reliance on megastars.
Yeah.
And then you want to fly in one of the game's biggest megastars.
Who should that 5, 6, or 7?
Yeah.
Dave Warner.
To bat out of position ahead of guys who've done the whole season.
Yeah, good fielder.
Again, it's not happening, but I'm not this happened.
Yeah.
Like this is the sources have confirmed. Dani reported it just via Twitter, and hasn't himself via Crikey got an enormous Indian thing following. But I just think ahead of the final, it's just interesting to see where the team's head is at. You know, I don't know.
RCB don't play for a couple of days and they do this. Jesus.
This is what the finals do to you. You know, is it head's gone, or would it have been a masterstroke? Who else are they bringing in? Are they bringing AB de Villiers back?
Yeah.
Something to think about.
Imran Khan.
That wouldn't be the biggest story.
That would be a big story. Visa issues again. And he's in jail, I think.
Visas at least to be spoken.
I can hear the sponsor saying, please move on to AskTGC.
Yeah, that's true.
Shall we get on to AskTGC then? My computer's dead, so I can't read it off the
I can do it. I can do it.
Chucky can get it up because that's his fucking job. Sorry, Chuck. Shubin says, do you boys think if Hazel wins it for RCB, then the city of Bengaluru will collectively forgive his fellow countrymen and close personal friends for what they did to the doser that day?
Well, fuck. I mean, I'm fucking copping strays there. It wasn't my doser. I would have done exactly the same as what you did, but I didn't.
What people don't know is it wasn't mine either.
We were just sitting at someone else's table.
We were just playing Minesweeper. I was drinking half-drunk orange juices, coffees.
I mean,
continental breakfasts.
Hazelwood has extraordinary powers, but I don't think we'll ever be forgiven for that.
Never be forgiven, yeah.
I think it's one of the, it's just a contractual obligation when you go to India is to engage with its food and enjoy it, as I do, incredibly, but simultaneously be told that you're doing it wrong. And that's fine. Everyone's playing their role.
Indians are very proud of their food. They're very proud of their
rightly so.
Difference between North India, South India, and people ask what happened with the Chennai show. Well, after the doser incident, unforeseen circumstances.
We were very clear about that.
Very clear
That's
about
why it was
that.
cancelled.
Very clear about that. Next one, Chucky, please. Bike Biker. Geez, Bike Biker gets a run, doesn't he?
Yeah, Bike.
Oscar Piastri, an Aussie currently leading the F1 World Championship. Loves cricket as well. Do you guys reckon you can get him on your channel at some point? The Aussie summer coincides with off-season of F1. Would be great if you guys could manage to get a copyright strike from Formula One somehow.
Thanks. Yeah, that's why he wants it.
Just
see if we can get a copyright strike.
Yeah, just if you get the guy's face.
Well,
F1 owns Piastri's face.
I think we've been very clear that we're always in the market for a copyright strike. Yeah, we're always there and thereabouts. This time it will be from the racing car organisation.
Yeah, I want to see how thick his neck is. It's a thick neck.
Is it? Well, it'd have to be, wouldn't it? There'd be. I mean, you want to guard against whiplash.
Yeah, they do stuff in the gym for thick necks.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, that'd make sense, wouldn't it? Yeah. I wonder if that's a genetic thing as well. Like cricketers born with big hands and just thickness of the neck. You just see him in the cot, in the crib early on. You're like, he's gonna be a race car driver.
Oh, how's the Gregory Peck on it?
What a performance in To Kill a Mockingbird.
Hey, one more show to go on this season's IPL or whatever we call it. And we'll see you guys Wednesday morning for the big showdown. Who's going to win? Let us know in the comments.
Huge.
Let us know in the comments what's going to happen. Predict it. Predict it right now. See you guys on Wednesday. Cheers.